Good morning, guys. Today is March 24th, 2017, and we are looking pretty good pre-market. There's a lot of things that are, gapping up. But I basically decided to pick a few, the ones especially with the catalyst, the ones that are in momentum, the ones that people are talking about, because that's where, all the traders are looking, all the traders are watching, and those are the things that are, potentially going to move. Now, let's start with HTGM. HTGM is from yesterday. We had a very, very difficult day trading it yesterday. We'll kind of go back here and I'll show you guys. Right now, basically, it's in the 680s. Yesterday, or 690s. Yesterday, I was buying it in the threes. So, if I was to just buy and hold it, obviously, I would be up nearly, $4. But it's just that's just what trading is. Sometimes you get faked out. Sometimes the stock doesn't move, or the kind of move you're expecting just doesn't do it right away. So you end up taking a loss, or you cutting your loss, and then next thing you know, the stock just basically rips. And that's exactly what happened here. HTGM yesterday at the open, it was gapping up. There was some news out. There was a lot of hype towards it. It was gapping up, and but then at the open, it's basically dropped. And as it was curling up, I got in because I felt like what, if this is curling up, this potentially could get back towards the break, the market, sorry, the open, and we can get a red to green move, and that's what I was looking for on it, right? So I got in here, didn't work. I ended up bailing out on this candle here. 285 was basically the bottom, and then what happened is that as it came back up, as it was basically coming up, there's some volume came in here, and on the 5 minute it made a new high. So I jumped in again here, basically on this candle right here at 303, and then I ended up bailing out here at like 301, basically just because it just couldn't hold that 3 level. It couldn't, the first 1 minute candle after the first 5 minute candle, couldn't make a run for it. And I was like, you know what? I think there's just too many sellers. Every pop, people are just shorting this. So let's just kind of stay away from it. And then it basically just consolidated here. Came back down and then started ripping. And once it went red to green, it was basically over. It went from 333 all the way up to 397, and then just basically kept grinding up the rest of the day. Went all the way up to 490. Then started selling off, and then after hours, there's earnings came out, so it basically ripped again. So with all that being said, obviously the stock was a little choppy in the beginning. We didn't know how to play it. We didn't know how to trade it properly. Obviously, we should have waited for the red to green move, because that was the most solid setup we saw all day. For the entry point. But other than that, I feel like I messed up on this trade yesterday a couple times. So today, I'll have to be extra careful. Not jump into anything. Let the stock prove itself to me. Let the volume come in. Let the stock make some good moves, and then I'll look to jump in on it. Second thing we're watching is ZAIS. ZAIS is basically, I was watching for this 375 level to break once the market opened, as it was kind of building this trend. I wanted to continue consolidating, but it looked like it already broke that. It's already up about 70% on the day, or on the gap, pre-market, and about $1.59 in dollar value. So in the previous, this chart has made some major moves. Went from 235 all the way to 518. But with this huge gap up, we have to be very careful. First thing I would like to see is either a pullback back to this trend line that's forming here. If you can get a pullback back to the 350s, around that area, and then potentially start curling back up, then I'll look for a red to green move. I wanna see this open kind of below, or even if it opens around the 380s, I want to see it dip down and then look for a red to green move. As it passes through 380, 370, whatever, we'll look for a break of 4, and then the target would be basically break of 4 or 420. So that's our potential play on that. It does have a float of 3.07 million, and there's earnings out. So there's a catalyst, low float. It looks good. The only thing, RSI, it's kind of reaching the 70, reaching a little overbought area. So that's why I want to see it dip. I want to see it sell off a little, and then look for the red to green move, or look for some sort of consolidation, and then a good setup on it. Next thing we're watching, guys, is NVCN. NVCN is a bit high float. It has a float of 36.58 million. But earnings came out yesterday after hours, so it went basically from the 170 all the way to 209. In the past, it has made some major moves. On this day, for example, it went from 162 all the way to 334. And then, recently it started kind of spiking. On this day, went from 136 to 188. Over here went from 177 to 212. The only thing is, on these days it kind of got pushed down. So today that is gapping up. We're basically looking for the break of 2, and then the next target is basically the high of day, which is 209, and then 214. So break of all that, get over 215 can kind of open up some room. But we obviously don't want to get in too high. We don't want to get in around 209, 215, whatever, because that could potentially be the top. So we want to probably look for a potential, move for the break of 2, and then look to get in, and then look to get out basically 210, 220, right? So that's the goal on that. Other than that, we're watching staff. Staff is basically just there's no catalyst on it that I see. Only thing is, it could be a potential $1 breakout play. If it kind of rips, breaks $1, we could potentially see it go up to the 113s, 110s, and then that's where basically we get out. As soon as it breaks 1, goes up to 105, 110, we get out. There's no catalyst. We don't want to hold too long. And the CGIX is just kind of from yesterday as well. Yesterday we were watching for the break of 340. Once it broke 340, went kind of up to the 365, then it kind of pulled back. So today, could potentially have that move in it again. It is in the healthcare sector, kind of like HTGM, so we might get like some sort of sympathy on it, but we'll keep an eye on it. So that's basically it for the pre-market, guys. Markets are gonna open in about 5 minutes, so we'll come back once there's something lining up or something that looks good to me, and then we'll go from there. So sit tight. Okay, guys, I'm in HTGM at 8:59. I'm basically looking for a move past 9 here. Feel like it is strong enough. It could rip, but we'll see what happens here. There you go. We could potentially see 9 here. 892 is the high of this candle. So basically we just want to see it broke past that. There you go. 879. Okay, I got out at so basically I got in at 8:59, out at 8:54, as it was basically just looking weak. As you guys can see, it started dropping, so I just basically quickly got out, because what I wanted to see was, as it popped over this 1 minute pullback, I got in for that at 8:59, because the high of this candle was 8:58, and I jumped in at 8:59. Puts back to 892, but then over here it just couldn't get past 870. I think it was 880. Yeah, it just couldn't. Every time it would pop up, it would just basically come back down. So because of that, I just decided to bail out on that. Just with basically $6 loss. That's fine. Now it's just a very, I don't know how to explain HTGM. It just doesn't do things when you think it will, and then like when it opened, basically it just started dropping fast, right? It started dropping fast, tries to come back up, push down, basically goes from 650 all the way to 597 in one candle, just drops, and then next thing you know, it basically is at 892, right? So it's just things like that you just can't really plan for. You don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, for this, the entry could have been on the break of 7. That was a good entry point, but I missed it. I didn't get in on there because I was just like, well, it's moving, but I don't know if it has, enough to like keep going. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's already so extended. So I didn't jump in at 7, but in hindsight, that was obviously a good breakout point. 7 goes to 750, goes to 8, breaks 8, goes up to 8.9. In one candle, basically, it went from 8 all the way up to 872, right? And then I just waited for this little pullback, got in, and then it just didn't do what I thought it will. Now it's kind of hanging there. I feel like it probably is a little trap here. I think it's trapping longs. It'll probably drop, and if it drops, then we might see we might look for a 5-minute entry on this. But other than that, I don't see anything else happening to this for now. So we'll just keep an eye on. We'll see what happens. Guys, I'm in HTGM again at 8:56. Basically waiting to see if this finally starts moving back up, because it's having trouble. It's kind of consolidating just below the 892 level. So I'm basically just waiting to see if we can get back up there. Take out 860 here. There you go, 860 is out. We basically want to see it get back up. It's kind of consolidating, don't know which way it's gonna go. But we're just kind of, the reason I got in is just because it pulled back here, then it came back up, and I feel like if we can start moving here, if we can get some buyers in the 860 61s, there you go, we could potentially see it get back up to 892. Potential break of 892, guys, is the key point. If we can break 892 here, we just need some volume to come in. We just basically need some big buyers to come in, shorts to start covering, because they will get scared, and that's where the squeeze can happen. So, okay, I just sold at 846 basically, just because it started dropping right there, and I didn't like that, because now it's gonna look weak here now. Just because if this trend line didn't hold, and it should have just kept going there, but it didn't. So HTGM is just one thing that I just can't seem to to trade properly. Like, I just can't, and I really want to beat this stock. I really do. Look, it's just right back in the green, right back in the 860s, right? It's just kind of hanging around there. Maybe we'll wait for this consolidation to break before moving in. The high of this is 875. Maybe the first 10-minute candle to make a new high. This was open at 950, so 10 o'clock. Maybe that candle to make a new high at 875, or over 875. I'll put my order at 880. I'll try again one with 100 shares. Now, obviously, I'm trying with 100 shares, so it's not the end of the world, right? Because I'm only paying $2 per trade in and out. So I paid $4 so far in about $18 loss. But once it starts running, I mean, as we've seen, this stock can basically rip. So if it breaks 9, and people who are shorting here, expecting it to drop, if this breaks 9, we can easily see 10 on it, and that's what I'm looking for on it, right? That's kind of like my goal. But I really would like to see, look at this. It's coming right back up. Look, you see what just happened there? It just broke 920s, and that's all it was. It just didn't do it right here. It just wasn't ready, and ended up faking out. The low of this candle was 840, and now it's in the 930s. I can't do it. I can't do this, guys. Adding, you're asking for an even. Okay, so basically we'll just kind of stay away from now, I guess. Obviously we missed it. now it's in the 950s. See, I was in basically in the 9, what was my execution, 840 or 856, right? So right there I would have been up a point, right? That's what I was looking for. I was looking for that move, and it just couldn't do it. Oh man, oh man. So anyways, I'll pause the video and come back. Alright guys, I am officially done. I cannot take this right now. This is just this is very, 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 very frustrating as a trader. Is when you're in a stock at 856 and it is halted at 1118. It's probably the most ridiculous thing. Yesterday as well, in from threes, and today it's at 11. Like I don't know even how to think. I don't know what I could have done. Maybe I wasn't thinking straight, guys. I just wasn't thinking straight. I needed to look for an entry, a better entry. Like first I got in here on the first 1 minute pullback. Pops over to 892, doesn't work out. That's fine. I cut my loss. It was like a $4 loss. No worries, right? Then it consolidates. I jump in here as it dips down, comes back up, and starts curling. I jump in. I was like, okay, well, if this holds, it's basically gonna rip here, and that's exactly what it did. Only after making a lower 10 cent, hitting my stop loss. So my stop loss basically was 10 cents. I was like, okay, if it goes below 850 again, it might basically just, if it can't move up, it's gonna move down. It has to go one way, and I know it's already overbought. So I got in at 856, got out at 846, and basically on the 5 minute, I just didn't have the 5 minute up. I was looking at the 10 minute. I should have had the 5 minute up. On the 5 minute, it made a very nice move. The first 5 minute to make a new high at around 876, 880. That was the entry point, guys. And break of that goes up to all the way within the next 5 minutes. It's all the way up in the 11s, and that's what I should have looked for, right? Sometimes I just don't think, and I run into these errors, and they're so frustrating. It's so frustrating. But you know what? It's not the market's fault. It is my fault, because the information it was providing was correct. It was basically, if I was watching all the indication, if I was watching all the chart setup, I could have probably seen it. I could have probably seen, it basically moving here in the 880s, right? First 5 minute to make a new high after this little pullback. It's perfect. It can't get any better than that, right? And 5 minute setups are stronger than 1 minute setups, and I just didn't take advantage of it. So you know what? It's my fault. I could have been better. I'm just frustrated. I'm so upset because it's 2 days in a row that I've attempted to basically take advantage of this trade, and I just have not been able to do it in any way whatsoever. And after the halt, probably would have been better people who got out before halt, because after the halt has just dropped. So again, it is a pretty heavy stock right now. There's a lot of buyers. Now short sellers are basically gonna move in, and they might be able to take advantage of this. But at the same time, I feel like there's a lot of buyers that that are in the stock. It might get halted here again at 10:06, guys. Oh no, it did. Oh yeah, it's halted. So it just got halted again. Yeah, so anyways, I'm gonna end this video here. I'm basically gonna walk off. I'm gonna take the weekend, clear my head, come back with a better plan. Oh man, this week wasn't a great week. I really wanted to end it green, especially following my last week. I really wanted to end this green. I really wanted to have a good end to the week, and I could have. With HTGM, I had more than enough opportunity to make this a green week, and I just didn't take it. I just wasn't ready to take it. First, maybe getting in at 7 was a good entry, right? And then just kind of hold it here, see what happens, right? I just didn't take advantage of it. I am disappointed. I am frustrated, very frustrated. I need to think. I need to replan my strategy. I need to anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I guess I do this and you guys get to kind of see what I go through as a beginner. It's very frustrating, but you know what, it's a long journey, and I'm just glad that I'm on it. I'm just very happy that I have this opportunity, you know, that I'm able to do this. And I just need to basically get better. I need to, you know, I mean, last week my consistency was so great. I was waiting for the right setups, right entries, and this week my brain's just been all over the place. You know, I mean, usually when a stock moves up, I'm always looking for a 5 minute entry, and today I just wasn't. I didn't even think of it. You know what I mean? It's because I'm just thinking like, oh man, I gotta get HTGM, I gotta get revenge on it, and I'm not thinking straight. So instead of, you know, keep throwing my money away, I'm just gonna walk away for now, and then I'll come back. I'll come back next week with a clear head, and you know, start building my account back up. You know, last week, you know, I was down. You know, on the month I was down like 50-60 bucks, and I basically managed to, you know, close about $80 positive on the month, and then or sorry, on the week, and then I was up like $20 on the month, and I was feeling really good, and I was like, you know what, this week it's you know, it's another push. It needs to keep pushing forward. And then I got screwed over Monday. Monday was just a bad day. You know, I lost $80, and then after that, it just been red, and yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully, you know, I'll come back stronger next week. I'll be able to, you know, make up for these losses, and hopefully end the month green. You know, I still have that opportunity, and I'm gonna take advantage of it. I can end this month green, and if I do that, guys, it'll probably be my first month ending green. You know, while I traded basically the whole month. So that is something that I'm looking forward to, and I think I can do it. I think I can potentially end this month green if I just stay consistent, if I stay focused, if I stay, you know, if I just stay focused, if I don't make mistakes like this, if I look for all possible entry points, if I look for all possible triggers, possible setups, instead of just focusing on one chart, instead of just focusing on 1 minute, right? So thanks for watching, guys. Leave a comment if you guys have any questions, and we'll pick it up from next week. Take care. Have a great weekend.